Good evening and welcome to the commencement exercises for the class of 2025 at the Ellis School. Thank you for joining us this evening as we celebrate this special group of young people. Graduates, I want you to know how very proud we are of you. You've achieved a great deal as scholars, athletes, artists, performers, and advocates. I hope you are proud of the intellectually vibrant, confident, thoughtful, and truly authentic young people you have become. Throughout your time at Ellis, you have created wonderful memories, outstanding performances, exciting athletic contests, thought-provoking art, analytical research projects, challenging conversations, enduring friendships, and creative senior pranks. We are truly excited about what lies ahead for each of you. Ellis will always be a place you can call home, no matter where life takes you. With this strong foundation and the support of this community, we look forward to watching the next chapter of your journey. Our ceremony tonight brings together many different members of the larger Ellis community. We are delighted to welcome parents, family members, special friends, and our dedicated faculty and staff as we celebrate the class of 2025, their achievements at Ellis, and this meaningful milestone that marks their readiness to step boldly into the next chapter of their lives. I know these students could not have completed their Ellis journey without the support and love of everyone in the audience tonight. And I am very grateful that we can come together as a community to recognize and celebrate these remarkable seniors. It seems very fitting that our ceremony is taking place this evening in this courtyard. Not only is this a physically beautiful space, but it is in many ways the heart of our campus. Students of all ages traverse these paths as they move between classes, study, create, explore, play, eat, and often laugh together in this space. And it is surrounded by the learning spaces for our 3 divisions. Students literally move around this courtyard as they grow up at Ellis. So it seems particularly appropriate that our seniors end their time here. Our ceremony has many traditions, including its participants. I'm joined here tonight by Joe Schmidt, chairman of our Board of Trustees, as well as 7 trustees in the audience who represent the dedicated and incredibly supportive members of our board. I'm also joined by our 3 division heads, Ashley Dotson, upper school head, Jen Moynihan, middle school head, Dr. Jamie Schiff, lower school head, and by Lauren LaShawn, our assistant head of school and director of teaching and learning, each of whom has played a key role in guiding our graduates through Ellis. Also with us tonight is our commencement speaker, Ashley Priori, an alumna from the class of 2018, and I will have the pleasure of introducing Ms. Priori in a few moments before she takes the podium. Sitting to your left, those who protest ahead of the seniors, are members of our Ellis faculty. Tonight's procession was led by one of our distinguished Ellis faculty members who is retiring this year, Diane Rackless. We are deeply grateful to her for the many years in which she has inspired so many students during her 18 years as a beloved member of our science faculty. Standing in the back of the courtyard is our second distinguished faculty member retiring this year, Jean Mercier. We are deeply grateful to him for his 18 years as a member of our World Language Department and for his flawless orchestration of our commencement ceremonies each year. The balance of our faculty is seated in descending order by years of service to Ellis. Those in the front row are our longest serving faculty members, followed by those who have joined our community in more recent years. This incredible group of teachers is at the heart of the Ellis experience. Please join me in thanking everyone who has worked so hard in support of our graduating seniors. Finally, our soon-to-be graduates entered the ceremony accompanied by student marshals. Our marshals are younger sisters of members of the graduating class. We appreciate the service of our marshals and the continuity that their role represents. And we want to acknowledge all of the seniors whose older sisters also attended Ellis and the enduring relationships we have had with their families. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Taylor Spencer, who has served as a student council president in the upper school this year. Please join me in welcoming Taylor to the podium.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 commencement ceremony. My name is Taylor Spencer, and I am here today to recognize and appreciate the special community that makes Ellis. First, I would like to thank everyone for coming here today to celebrate the class of 2025, as well as to thank the family, friends, teachers, staff, coaches, and the village that have supported and pushed us to get to where we are today. Your unwavering dedication, love, and guidance do not go unnoticed, and for that, we're eternally grateful. Now, Ellis, where do I start? I've been a part of this community since the second grade, and 8-year-old Taylor would be shocked to see me up here today as 2025 seemed like a lifetime away. Though summarizing my 10 years here at Ellis into a 5-minute speech wasn't the easiest task, it gave me a chance to reflect on the most memorable moments, special bonds, and life lessons my classmates and I have learned over the years. Starting from the beginning, my most vivid memory, for those who remember, is the creation of the new student welcome video. The beginning of this music video to Katy Perry's Hear Me Roar showcased the entire school in each division, singing and dancing, while 1 or 2 students were chosen to be the lead singers in the middle. The 2 chosen for the lower school were Josie Gaddis and, of course, my little sister, Cyree Spencer. Witnessing my sister get followed by a camera crew with 20 seconds of screen time, almost like a celebrity, while I was forced to be in the background as a backup dancer, was truly the start of my villain era. However, though the lower school me was filled with jealousy in the moment, It also made me realize how much I wanted to be a part of this community the most I could. As many of you know, Ellis is a small school, something that might seem like a drawback to some. But to me, that's part of what makes it so special. There's something comforting about walking into a place 5 days a week where everything feels personal and familiar. In a school this size, you recognize almost every face in the hallway. Your accomplishments don't get lost in the crowd. They're celebrated by either kind words in the hall or the sound of the banging on the auditorium benches. And more importantly, you're not just another student. You as a person are seen, valued, and known. The only downside, with a school this close-knit, I'm pretty sure at least 75% of you have caught me napping on just about every couch in this building. But beyond the familiar faces and close connections, it's the everyday moments of student life, the laughter, the challenges, and the memories we've made together that have truly shaped my experience at Ellis. Here you're encouraged to be your most authentic self, whether that's through student talent shows, where you hear some of the corniest jokes to some of the most beautiful voices, or through various affinity groups, where you can not only connect with peers through your various beliefs and identifiers, but you're also able to express and advocate for yourself, knowing that you'll be accepted and heard no matter what. Here, you're not just welcome into a school, you're welcome into a family. A family that gives you nicknames like Ricky or Gabster, or in my case, Unc, which you've probably heard Saley scream in a room just to embarrass me. A family that takes time to make 3-page study guides the night before a test for those in distress. A family that bonds over shared complaints in the lounges. And most importantly, a family that stands beside you through every step of the way. But in a family, of course, you have the authority figures, the party poopers, but the ones who challenge you the most. To the teachers and staff who would not be here today without your guidance, your patience, and the countless ways you've pushed us to grow, even when we pushed back. You've shaped us, supported us, and helped us become the people we are today. And while the lessons and guidance have shaped our minds, it's often little moments that turn an ordinary school day into a better one. Like teaching Miss Evans, who Nicki Minaj was, hearing Miss Joe's signature, "Hey lady," every day in the lunch line, avoiding Miss Dodgman every time she asked how my senior thesis was going, or my favorite piece of advice from Mr. Rose that I'll carry into college: if you're going to do something dumb, at least be smart about it. Though these moments don't cover close to half of my experience at Ellis, they signify the close, charismatic, supportive community that shapes this school. This is the same community I trust will guide Cyree and her class through their senior year, as well as to welcome my youngest sister Riley into her first year at Ellis while I'm gone. To the current students, soak in every moment you have left here. Because as much as I dramatically yelled, I cannot wait to graduate in the hallways, standing here in my last moments as an Ellis student is incredibly bittersweet. On behalf of the class of 2025, we thank you, Ellis, for everything. For the memories, the lessons, and the second family we never knew we needed. And finally, I can proudly say, I can finally breathe because this is the last paper I had to write for the Ellis School. Thank you.
She leaves home in the early morning, waving goodbye with an absent-minded smile. I watch her go with a surge of that well-known sadness, and I have to sit down for a while. The feeling that I'm losing her forever, without really entering the world on. Glad whenever I can share her laughter, that funny little girl fingers all the time. I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it, slipping through my fingers all the time. Do I really see what's in her mind each time I think I'm close to knowing? She keeps on growing, slipping through my fingers all the time. Sometimes I wish that I could freeze the picture and save it from the funny tricks of time slipping through my fingers. I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it, slipping through my fingers all the time. See what's in her mind each time I think I'm close to knowing. Slipping through my fingers all the time. School bag in hand, shoes home in the early morning, waving goodbye with an absent-minded smile.
Along with Taylor, our senior class officers have made this a very special year for the class of 2025 and the whole upper school community. Please join me in welcoming Senior Class President Zoe Sledge to the podium.
Good evening, parents, families, friends, faculty, staff, and most importantly, the unforgettable class of 2025. My name is Zoe Sledge, and I have the honor of serving as the senior class president, but tonight, titles don't matter. What matters is that I stand before you as one of the 35 students who have laughed, cried, struggled, and celebrated together. Each of us is a piece of the story I like to call the class of 2025. This story can never be told the same way without all of us in it. But as I look out to all of our families today, I want to say thank you on behalf of all of us. But most importantly, I want to thank you for bringing us together, bringing me 34 bonus siblings, and most importantly, lifelong relationships with each and every one of your children. I'm forever grateful to know all of you, and there's nothing that can take that away. As I finally sat down to write this speech, I tried to think about us as a class. Who are we? What made us so special? We are strong, relentless, and passionate. We do not take no as an answer. We are also humorous, supportive, and adventurous. We, the illustrious class of 2025, are a family more than anything. No matter how hard our struggles may be, this class makes sure they put you and your feelings first, and that is what makes us so special. It has been a pleasure to be the class president for 3 of our high school years, and I would not be the young woman I am today without each one of you. I have been at Ellis since I was 10 months old. Not only has this been my only school, this has been my home. In lower school, we started with as a group of lifers that I've been able to grow up with. I could always count on them for a good time, whether I was playing in after school with Josie Nesbitt, taking selfies that I still have on my phone today, dancing with Maya, Kate, and Aziz on the playground, or listening to Reese McGarry and Paige Trimble telling me to jump off the swing like them, which ultimately led me to breaking my ankle. I would not change this lower school experience one bit. I mean, lower school taught me a lot about myself and about the unexpected role of being a class sister to Taylor Spencer. As she entered in 2nd grade, she had a lot to say. But the main thing I wanted her to know, she wanted me to know, is that she was always going to be there for me, no matter what. I had a lot of dreams when I was younger, and one was to be a gymnast like Simone Biles. But Gymkhana got me nowhere, and I'm sure Mariella Wanless can agree with me on that. Another one of my dreams was to play the piano like Tessa Gumberg. No one in my eyes was as good as on the piano as her. Even though that piano thing is a work in progress for me, her playing will forever give me chills. And how could I forget watching Nico Mocker completely kill it on the drum set for our lower school recital? We are a talented group of individuals, full of joy and laughter. You all have inspired me to be a better person every step of the way. Moving into middle school, we were a little nervous, not sure what to expect, but knowing that we had each other is what mattered. The class of 2025 is what I like to say, obsessed with the new. Whether it's new friends, new teachers, new information, we wanted to know more, we wanted to be more. We wanted everyone to have a great experience like we have had. We had new students, which that meant new friends, new stories. Sarai Williams knew every single characteristic, fact, or interesting news about Joe Jonas. Lizzie Holmes' free spirit knew exactly the way to show up, the Ellis way, with snacks. Whether it was her mom's lemon bars in 6th grade or her taco dip just a few weeks ago, Lizzie's contagious energy in food is hands down the best combo. Ruby's Litterman amazed me with every photo from the Virgin Islands and how to protect their native lands. We were so happy to meet everyone, whether it was Megan always stating a cool fact or Gabriella Tucker being the first equestrian I had ever met. This class is beyond spectacular. Helen Lee has the funniest, quiet commentary. Sophia Collin will always remind us that her birthday is coming up soon. And Anouk was the absolute best working in The Wizard of Oz. There wasn't a better time than our morning homerooms, us making TikToks in the hallway, or being the leader of house games, or just getting into trouble. Ellie Maloney and I gave Miss Compton such a hard time. We were always in trouble. We even wrote her a note that she still has today, apologizing for talking too much. Miriam showed me the importance of photography with so many perfect photos to capture all of these moments. And Elise Brennan amazed me with her Serena Williams-like skills at tennis. These memories are something we're able to look back on together and smile. We never skipped a beat as a class. Even through COVID, we were stronger than ever. There wasn't anything that could tear us down. In upper school, we gained 15 new faces to our freshman class, the friends we knew we'd finish our journey with. I could always count on Zaytun for updates with Zendaya and Tom Holland's relationship. Dahlia Bellman always reminded me that I need a new pair of shoes. Or Mackenzie Springer for making math class so enjoyable. I love listening to Maddie Patoka's contagious laugh or hearing Sophia Tondra watch Nikki, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn. The class of 2025 is passionate about so many things. We have been able to share our love and support for each other while hearing everyone talk about their senior projects or senior theses. Anna Jameson continued to share how much her church community meant to her throughout her journey here. Ella Greenfield has shared how to build awareness for our Jewish community, making us all aware of how to help. And Hannah Buck has helped to keep our class aware of our environmental impact. Mariah Parente started a pop-up shop thrift store, and Julia O'Brien tackled the idea of reusable concrete stepping stones to help us stay sustainable. There was always a way for us as a class to support one another and those around us. I was amazed by all the works of the senior show, whether it was Maya Ernest Hawking showing her detailed clay ballerina slippers. I got to look at all of Adia Buchella's beautiful artworks. I sat front row all 3 nights of Little Shop of Horrors, watching Abby Strazar being the best Seymour known. I watched Audrey O'Toole grow up into a club leader and Amira Ellis create a film time and time again. This class is more than what meets the eye. When you hear about what we have accomplished, there's no way to not be impressed by what we have done. If you can't tell, I'm obsessed with this class. After hearing this, what makes us so special, it is that we are authentic and able to manage what we do, while still having smiles on our faces, getting work done for the most part, and staying together through it all. So to my greater Ellis family, thank you for writing this story with me. Thank you for the memories, the laughter, the late nights, the snack time dance party, the heart tarts, and the endless inside jokes that no one will ever understand. Thank you for being my home away from home, for challenging me to grow and loving me as I am. To my classmates, my 34 bonus siblings, you are the heartbeat of this journey. We've shaped each other in ways that words cannot fully express. And though we may scatter after tonight, may the bond that we share always bring us back to this moment. We are forever the class of 2025, a class that led with love, grew with grace, and not stopped showing up for each other. And lastly, to every parent, teacher, mentor, and friend here today, thank you for believing us, guiding us, and reminding us that we are capable of anything. You helped build a foundation that we may now launch from. As we go off into the world and we carry this love, this courage, this family spirit with us always, because no matter where we go next, we always will belong to each other. I love you all. Thank you. And to the timeless class of 2025, we built something beautiful together, Let's be intentional and show the world who we are. We did it. On the behalf of the class of 2025, we've decided to contribute funds to furnishing the outdoor patios and upper school balconies so that future students can use and enjoy all of our spaces. Additionally, some of the talented artists of our class will be creating some series of paintings to decorate the senior lounge. Thank you.
Our tradition at Ellis is for the graduating seniors to take the lead in identifying someone in the larger community from whom they would like to hear at their commencement ceremony. This year, we are delighted to welcome Ms. Ashley Priori, Ellis class of 2018, as our special commencement speaker. Ashley Priori is the strategist who is transforming chess from a game into a global framework for agency, equity, and leadership, one bold move at a time. Ashley is the founder, president, and CEO of Queen's Gambit, a national nonprofit using chess to equip 2,000 youth annually with critical thinking, confidence, and leadership skills. She is also the founder and CEO of Queenside Ventures, a consulting firm that helps executives, athletes, and mission-driven brands to achieve strategic clarity, decision architecture, and purpose-driven communications. A former chess phenom who began teaching at age 8, Ashley launched Queen's Gambit at 14 to democratize access to chess and reimagine it as a tool for personal and social transformation. By 25, she had founded 7 ventures, including the nation's first youth-led campaign strategy firm, and led the national push for White House Youth Policy Council. In 2019, she made history as one of Pennsylvania's youngest candidates for public office, quickly becoming a rising force in civic reform. A respected leader and trusted advisor for building intergenerational teams, Ashley has served on numerous nonprofit boards over the past decade, including a recent tenure as board chair of City of Bridges High School. Currently, she serves as a board member for the Women and Girls Foundation and the Western Pennsylvania Bleeding Disorders Foundation, and in 2023, she was appointed by Governor Josh Shapiro to serve on the Governor's Advisory Commission on Next Gen Engagement. She is also the host of Queen Me, a podcast spotlighting disruptors who reshaped their industries. Her thought leadership has been featured in Forbes and Katie Couric Media. Her honors include Forbes 30 Under 30, Obama Foundation USA Leader, and a feature in the Epic Mentor Guide alongside Hoda Kotb, Tyra Banks, and Bobby Brown. Ashley also leads Project D4, a global initiative to teach 1 million women how to play chess and lead strategically. Whether advising NFL athletes or shaping the next wave of change makers, Ashley is turning every chessboard into a launching pad for impact. Please join me in welcoming Ashley Priori to the podium.
Of course, it starts to thunder when I want to speak. So we'll keep at it. Okay, excellent. Well, good evening. Thank you so much for the invitation to be this year's commencement speaker. It really is a true honor to be back at Ellis and to celebrate this incredible class of 2025, a class whose resilience, creativity, and voices have already made a huge impact. Now, I'm going to be honest, before my visit in May, I hadn't been back at Ellis in 7 years, but of course, the moment I came back, going through those doors, it all came rushing back. It was funny, I was visiting and I was going near Alumni Hall and I saw this plaque that was on, near the stage. And it reminded me that I was on a very similar stage as a 9th grader when I was in the freshman speech contest. And because I won, I have a lot of added pressure tonight, so we're excited about that. Since receiving this invitation, I've been reflecting a lot on Ellis and what it means to be an Elysian, right? Ellis has always been this place of forward motion. The world around us continues to shift, new industries emerge, technologies evolve, and the way we connect, work, and lead is constantly being redefined. But through it all, what hasn't changed is Ellis's commitment to equipping young people to lead with intellect, compassion, and courage, no matter the decade, no matter the headlines. But still, I've been sitting with a harder question, right? What do you say to a group of young people that are graduating in today's political climate? So I'll start with the truth, right? We are living in unprecedented times, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We are watching rights be stripped away that we were told were untouchable. Reproductive freedom is under attack. Book bans are rising. DEI initiatives are being dismantled. LGBTQ+ youth are being targeted. And young people, especially young, ambitious women, are still being told to soften, stay small, and wait their turn. And as all of this unfolds, technology is rapidly reshaping the way we live, work, and lead. So we're more connected than ever, and somehow more distracted too. In a world of constant access and algorithms and automation, critical thinking can feel like a lost art. And unfortunately, that's the landscape that you are entering. And I will not pretend that high school, even at a place as special as Ellis, is free from challenge. You may have felt tension here. I did. This group over here certainly knows that I did, right? I was vocal. When I saw something that didn't sit right with me, I spoke up, I pushed, I asked questions. I wanted to fight for what I felt was just. And yes, that caused friction, right? But what I learned is that tension isn't something to avoid, it's something to grow through, right? The very moments that stretched me at Ellis shaped the person that I became. And that's why Ellis matters. Because what Ellis gives you is more than just knowledge. It's going to give you strategy, and it has given you all strategy. Now, from your earliest days here, whether you realized it or not, you have been learning how to navigate complexity, how to think beyond the obvious, how to make bold, thoughtful moves. Now, strategy, not the corporate buzzword, but the lived values-based kind, is core to how Elysians lead. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. I recently had the chance to speak with your senior class president, your student council president, Zoe and Taylor, just two amazing leaders who made me feel so welcome when I had visited here. And they asked me a question that's really been sitting with me ever since. They asked me, did you know Ellis would prepare you for the success that you've had? Right? Now, at the time when I was where you are, no, absolutely not, right? But in hindsight, yes, it did. I was a student here when Ellis celebrated its centennial year, and I remember being fascinated by the school's history, and I wrote a note to Ellis to mark the moment. And even then, I was struck by the 100 years of stories, ambition, grit, and growth. And that reflection is what I want to share with you today, because Ellis wasn't founded to create big-name celebrities or change makers. It was founded to prepare young women for their next journey. Back then, that journey was college, but today it's the world. Ellis doesn't hand you a script. It doesn't shape you to fit a mold. It teaches you to lead from your core, right? To think with depth and act with integrity. It doesn't push you to seem impressive. It pushes you to be real. And that's the power of the Ellis way. And I believe that, so you had mentioned this in your speech, the power of the Ellis way, right? Esse confidere to be rather than to seem. And you, class of 2025, embody that. Because you are not here for appearances, you are here for purpose. You are not trying to be something you're not, you're already showing the world who you are. You're not waiting for titles, you're stepping into leadership on your own terms, and that is far more radical and far more necessary and more impactful than any resume line or press headline. So let me tell you a bit about what came next for me. So the moment I graduated from Ellis, I was ready to go. Okay, trust me. I was ready to go. But, that summer of 2018, I emailed as many leaders as I could in Pittsburgh. I was really hungry to learn and to lead. And some meetings were met with curiosity, right? Especially when I shared how I wanted to use chess to create change and impact the world. And others were met with some confusion. There was dismissal, friction, right? People said Queen's Gambit was just a school project. They told me that putting chess in every classroom was daunting. They didn't take me seriously, right? So I did what I thought I needed to do and what Ellis taught me to do. I solved problems, right? There weren't enough young people on boards. I created an initiative to train youth and boards on how to lead together. Campaigns weren't reaching enough youth voters. I built the first youth-led campaign strategy firm in the country. And when I saw people losing their ability to think critically in a world obsessed with speed, I doubled down on chess, not just as a game, but as a framework for leadership. Now, doing all of this, I certainly faced tension, right? I was called the girl doing too much, a generalist, too ambitious, too loud, too everywhere. I was constantly told to stay in my lane. And yeah, it pissed me off, right? Because I've been the youngest person in the room. I've been the only woman at the table. I've been the one who wasn't supposed to speak, but I did anyway. And every time I remembered who I was, and I remembered where I came from, and I remembered Ellis, because Ellis taught me to use my voice, even when people didn't want to hear it. So flash forward a few years, I had graduated from Pitt as a young entrepreneur with some organizations under her belt, and I stalled, right? I was applying to jobs I didn't want and to graduate schools I was not excited about because I thought that's what I should do. What would look good, what would make others proud. One Saturday I was really frustrated by all this noise and rejection, and my dear friend and mentor looked at me. Now, she said this in a lot more colorful words, but she said, what are you doing, right? Why are you doing this? You're already an entrepreneur. And she was right? I was chasing someone else's version of success, but I already had mine, right? I had always been an entrepreneur, a builder, a strategist. Why was I trying to be anyone else? So I leaned in, right? I launched Queenside Ventures, which is my consulting firm, and we work with top athletes and brands and leaders in sports and media. And I work with the NFL, I advise change makers, coach executives, all through the lens of strategy. But more importantly, I teach people to think, to slow down, to make their move. Because the light switch for me, the game changer here, was strategy. And yes, that's the embodiment of an illusion. So if you remember anything from today, I really want you to remember this, that strategy is your superpower. In a world obsessed with urgency and reaction and performative success, strategy is resistance. It's what's going to allow you to slow down when others speed up, to think clearly when others are shouting, to play the long game when others are chasing the spotlight. Now, strategy isn't about being right on time, though I like to think I'm right most of the time. It's not about that, right? It's about being ready. And I'm not here to say you need to learn chess, though it would make me a lot happier and my job a lot easier if you did, right? But what you need to do is to think like a strategist, to pause, to plan, to pivot, to protect your energy and lead with purpose. Because when you lead with strategy, you lead with intention. And in a world that wants to box you in, strategic thinking is a return to you. And here's the thing, and another unfortunate thing, not everyone's going to like that. And if that sounds familiar, it's because we're watching it play out in real time, in politics, in policy, and every space where bold, strategic people are challenging the status quo. They'll misunderstand you, they'll underestimate you, they'll call you names like Legacy Aspirator, because I got that one on my trophy shelf. They'll say you're trying too hard, dreaming too big, and moving too fast. And to that, and I was so glad when I met with Zoe and Taylor because they told me, I said, I really want to include Legally Blonde in this somewhere. And they said, well, you know what? It's one of the class of 2025's favorite movies. And I said, well, we have to include it now, right? So I want us to think about the words of Elle Woods when she said, if you're going to let one stupid person ruin your life, you're not the girl that I thought you were. So I'm going to say it the Ellis way. Right? If you're going to let one stupid person, one gatekeeper, one rejection, one bump in the road stop you, you're not the Elysians that I know you are. Because the Elysians I know, you do not speculate, you build. You do not ask for permission, you create space. You don't seem powerful, you are powerful. And I want to leave you with the Wise words of Elsie Hillman, who was one of Ellis's greatest champions. Now, Elsie and I had never met, but I do like to think that we would have been great friends. And she once said, "It is possible to see something good and to work for it and even dare to achieve it. Don't be a spectator. You are needed in every corner of the community." So class of 2025, never be spectators. Be strategists, be builders, be brave. Because when the world tells you to wait your turn, strategy gives you the power to take it and lead. Oh, class of 2025, may your moves be bold, your strategy sharp, and your purpose unshakable. Now go lead us. Congratulations.
We are going to deviate from the program and go right into the presentation of diplomas. Now, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I am proud to present the class of 2025 for the awarding of diplomas. Will the class please rise and come forward, and Ms. Dodson will announce your names, and we are joined by Board Chair Joe Schmidt in the presentation of your diplomas. Galia Yetta Marianne Bellman. Adia Amata Bacella. Elise Brennan. Hannah Lee Buck. Maya Kate Aziz. Maya Ann Ernest Hawken. Amira Renee Ellis. Mega Ratna Goyal. Ella Miriam Greenfield. Tessa Lillian Gumbert. Elizabeth Louise Home. Anna Marley Jameson. Sophia Pace Collin. Zaitun Kirabo. Paige Ann Krimmel. Helen Emmy Lee. Elizabeth Catherine Mahoney. Reese Alexandra McGeary. Nico M.R. Mocker. Josephine Helen Nesbitt. Julia Lorene O'Brien. Aubrey Winterton Allie O'Toole. Mariah Abi Dylan Parente.
Maddie Sophia Patoka. Mariam Fatima Sadulayeva. Ruby Anna Soliterman. Zoe Reed Sledge. Taylor Imani Lynn Spencer. Mackenzie Reagan Springer. Abby Strazar. Sophia Aida Tondra. Gabriella Nicole Tucker. Mariella Beth Wanless. Sarai Laurita Williams. Anoop Upolti. Family, friends, faculty, it is my distinct pleasure to present to you the Ellis School graduates of the class of 2025.
Please remain standing. A special thanks to the Pittsburgh Brass Quintet and the Ellis Glee Club, directed one last time by Gail Masitis, for the beautiful music shared this evening. Now, will everyone please join me in the singing of our alma mater, the lyrics of which you will find on the back of the program.
Together, with hearts and spirits
Good evening, students, colleagues, and guests of the class of 2025. Graduates, as Upper School Division Head, I have the privilege of closing our ceremony by sharing my thoughts on your class and the legacy you will leave behind. As I wondered how I could possibly express what you have meant to Ellis, and of course what kind of extended metaphor I could employ in doing so, I began by reflecting on our time together. You have all been my students, whether in voice and vision, world literature, or access and authorship, and for a brave few, all three, you have been my student council officers and representatives, my class officers, my advisees, and to that last group I say there have never been better Secret Service agents, and I still maintain that we were robbed in that Halloween costume contest. So as I considered how many opportunities I have had to come to know and love you, I realized that while I am likely supposed to offer you parting words of wisdom, I'd like to instead tell you what you have taught me. You have taught me what true friendship looks like. As Zoe and Taylor captured so beautifully in their speeches, you are a class that genuinely cares for one another and enjoys being in each other's company. I have observed countless moments of warmth and kindness between you, times when one of you has been overwhelmed or exhausted, and someone is right there with a word of encouragement, a shoulder to lean on, or an offer to help you revise that thesis statement one more time. You have banged on the backs of the auditorium pews in celebration of each other's successes more times than I can remember. Your love for one another is a joy to witness. You have also taught me that everything is more enjoyable when you approach it with curiosity. I am sure my colleagues would agree with me when I say that you are so fun to teach. You are genuinely engaged in the process of learning, and you take on challenging coursework not merely to curate an impressive transcript or elevate your GPA. Rather, you do so because you are deeply interested in the world around you and how things work and in solving problems. What's more, you delight in the solutions. I will forever remember the look on some of your faces when you get something, when the puzzle piece finally clicks into place. But sometimes it takes longer than we'd like for that puzzle to come together. And in those moments, class of 2025, you have shown me what it means to be resilient. I recognize that it has not been an easy time to come through the upper school, that at times you must have felt uncertainty, frustration, and sadness. Regardless of the circumstances, though, you didn't linger long in spaces of negativity, and you always returned to the task at hand with positive determination. Which brings me to the next thing I've learned from you, and that is just how powerful a good sense of humor can be. On my hardest days, when I felt most overwhelmed, you have made me laugh. Whether by pulling off one of the best color war schemes I've ever seen, hi Barbie, or by flooding my office with senior theses, some of which came in before your actual papers did. In those moments, I found myself feeling grateful to have the kind of job that reminds me that we don't always have to take ourselves so seriously. And finally, and I'll talk really fast, you've taught me that courage can be found even in the scariest times, like perhaps this one right now. As some of you probably know, I have a surprisingly intense fear of public speaking, an odd trait for someone who chose a profession that requires it on a near daily basis. So this moment has been looming over me for some time. And when I felt especially nervous or anxious about standing up here, I thought of all of you. I thought about how many times you got on stage, whether as a seasoned performer or as a shy ninth grader at Ellis Idol. I thought about your fearless leadership of affinity groups and clubs when you have delivered homeroom presentations about parts of your identity you wanted to share with yourself. In the face of all of these brave examples, I felt braver myself, not so brave that I'm going to keep going. So lest you feel shortchanged by the fact that after all these lessons you've taught me, I never did get to those pearls that wisdom I'm supposed to provide, I will offer you this. Keep teaching those around you, wherever you go. Maybe you didn't realize how much you were doing it here, but you were. And it wasn't just me learning from you. It was all of your teachers. It was each other. It was underclassmen looking to you for guidance and example. Your way of being in the world is valuable and instructive, more than you know. Remember that as you move on to your next community and know that you leave a powerful legacy in your wake. Thank you, class of 2025, for everything you've taught us, and congratulations.
Yeah, where are they? I think they went to the car.